Thank you.
Yeah, did you get one? Oh, I got it. Oh, I did. I want that.
Alright, I'm gonna call the order of Bluffton Township meeting. Meeting is being recorded for aid in preparation of the minutes. And also Sue Baker is recording the meeting also. Let's begin with the reading of the minutes.
The Buffalo Township Board of Supervisors meeting was called to order on Monday, May 20th, 2024 at 7 p.m. in the municipal building by Chairman Keith Fenton. He announced the meeting is being recorded to aid in the preparation of the minutes. Keith made a motion to approve the minutes of May 6, 2024 as read. Gary seconded, motion carried. Gary made a motion to approve the bills to be paid with checks 9386 through 9396 from the general fund. Keith seconded, motion carried. Art explained that the bill for the new truck was reduced due to the contract the board signed of $62,161.82. Motion carried. Public comment. Keith explained to Donna Rose that her question regarding what additional costs would be if 2 more supervisors were to be added to the Board of Supervisors, that it's too difficult to determine and she should refer to the budget and audit to come up with a rough figure. Secretary Treasurer Nancy reported that she fulfilled one of the right to know requests she received, and the second one, an extension letter was given due to Nancy's office hours and redaction on some of the information will need to be done. Art read these 2 right to know requests that Shirley Baker submitted. Jason Daniels inquired about the cost for the secretary to fill these requests. The township can only charge 25 cents per page if copied, not the secretary's wages, and if the documents are electronically available, nothing can be charged. Everyone was reminded that spring cleanup day is June 1st. Building code, Tony issued a permit to Mark Blair for a family and bedroom addition. East Prima, their next meeting is May 28th at the Township Building. Planning Commission, Donna Rhodes gave a summary of their meeting minutes for May 15th. The Worthy Dog driveway doesn't meet the ordinance and was discussed with Joe Burgett. He intends to submit a full plan in July and another extension will be needed. They continue to work on the Saldo and solar drafts. Gary Ney expressed his concern on the Worthy Dog driveway. Roadmaster, Art reported the registration of the new truck has been done, the decals have been done. The township equipment is paid for except for the backhoe. Approximately $42,000 is OJET. The township is in good shape money and equipment-wise. Mowing is being done. Gary made a motion to approve Larry Knox putting the new aluminum bed on the 2017 truck for $3,500. He seconded, motion carried. Art will call Larry. Cold patching is being done. New business. A complaint was received about garbage being dumped at the corner of Chicken Hollow Road and Meadow Grove Road. Art took care of removing it. Gary made a motion to increase the hourly labor rate for the 3 Fox boys to $18 per hour. Motion died for a lack of second. Gary made a motion to increase the rate to $17 per hour. Art seconded, motion carried. Old business. Art is working on scope of work for the roof repairs. Nancy will give him the Jason Martin quote and Equities quote. Wow. Maggie Kaufman is scanning the ordinance book into the website. It's 95% built. A domain name needs to be decided on. Public comment. Donna Rhodes asked if the second key for the new truck was gotten. Yes, it has. Cindy Foreman had questions regarding the mowing, right to know requests, and training on equipment use. Keith adjourned the meeting at 7:58 p.m.
Any additions or corrections to the minutes as read? I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as read.
I second it.
Yeah, motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Bills.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
I second it.
Yeah, motion and second to pay the bills, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Oh,
So-
aye. Sorry.
Aye for approval.
Yes.
Gotcha. So moved. Moving on. Public comment on agenda items. Moving into secretary.
I still have that one right to know request, and extension was given.
Anything else?
Just a heads up, the planning commission, the Perry County Association of Township Supervisors is holding their annual convention, September the 14th. A lot of times, the planning commission members, a lot of them do not want to go, but I'm just kind of giving everybody a heads up. I'll have copies of this made for you guys for your Wednesday meeting. They have different workshops. I don't know if any of you have been to them before, but I need to know by our July meeting, because I have to send in the dues, the registration, and who all will be attending.
Donna, since you work for two townships, have you already been invited by Hal, or by, Oliver?
No, because I don't actually, I'm the municipal authority in there, so the township secretary would be
Okay.
the one, yeah.
So it's something for you guys to think about. Check your calendars, see if you can make it. Let me know.
Alright, moving in building code enforcement.
Nothing, no conversation.
Alright. ePrima, we met, provided a budget to Buffalo Township here, actually all the townships in ePrima received that. One thing to bring up with that also is that for ePrima, it was suggested upon it to have a solicitor. The organization decided to go with Stockton leader Dave Jones. Being that Buffalo Township already has them, question would be is if there would be any issues with Buffalo Township with ePrima having Stockton leader Dave Jones being their solicitor, also being that Buffalo Township has it. As Dave stated, if for some reason something would come up, he just wouldn't be able to represent anyone in that circumstance. So, being that I sit on both boards, I will abstain from this. I would just, that's why I'm throwing it over into your guys' laps.
I don't have any problem with it.
Yep. I don't have a problem with it at all.
Should we have a motion?
No, I think that's,
Because I talked to Dave earlier, and he said about just basically bringing it up
yeah.
at the township, so.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants a motion, we can do it when he comes.
Yeah, Dave should be here in 2 weeks. Your
So you got your, bylaws done,
bylaws were all approved.
everything's done, the budget's done?
The budget for 2024 is done. We have not received any dues for 2024 yet from any of the municipalities. Still waiting on Watts Township dues for 2023. And moving forward, looking at purchasing like 20-foot sea containers or whatever for like 2 of those to be able to store items in whenever we are able to start acquiring
Where you get
merchandise. At the other municipalities like Watts Township Community Center and Liverpool Township.
That one out back there, is that for Liverpool Township?
Yes, as of right now, we can take that to Liverpool Township. Just need to get with Mike Mandible.
Supervisor Whitmer and I'll get that loaded up this week, and we'll get in touch with Liverpool Township on later.
Yeah, if you just get with Mike Mandible, he'll.
Yeah.
RC container?
No,
The little-
the little one.
Oh, that little tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you
No,
get
not
the
the
thing,
tiny one, the one that got crushed, that went in the dumpster.
that's gone, that's out of here.
So that's
Now,
on.
are you still guys gonna meet every month, or are you gonna start?
We're still
going
for this
forward?
year, whatever. We have it advertised out for every month, so we are still meeting every month, which is obviously open to the public if anybody wants to come.
So the next meeting will be
The fourth Tuesday here at Buffalo Township. So,
fourth Tuesday.
fourth Tuesday of the month, whatever date that is.
What day was it?
I have no idea. Yeah, it looks like the 25th.
26th.
5th.
5th. 25.
Andy?
What time is that?
7.
They're very interesting to set through.
We're actually making progress, finally. Several years. Anything else for you, Karina? Not moving in. Planning Commission.
Well, we're reviewing the solar ordinance, and we also have the saldo. We don't have an updated job working plan, for our upcoming meeting. We'll just pursue the solar ordinance, try to finish that up next.
Alright.
That'll be our focus, so.
And see, Mr. Burgett's here. Is there something that you,
You ready to talk to me about the dog plan?
well, I'll be quite honest that it's currently still in the Planning Commission's hands, whatever, so that needs to be worked through them.
Well, actually, from the last meeting that we had, we actually made a motion to send it forward to the supervisors for review of a proposed, different driveway plan.
Just for a waiver.
It's, yeah, they're looking for, a review of this to, indicate possible approval for a waiver on, addressing some of the slope issues and sort of
Okay.
the turns and stuff.
I have a question with that. I know the Planning Commission asked if you would, if you reached out to the fire company. Did you do so?
Yes. Yes,
You did?
yes, we did.
By chance, who did you talk to?
We have a text from somebody. The Liverpool Borough Fire Chief?
Could not get hold of Liverpool, I hold of Newport Fire Department.
Well,
And Fire Chief for Newport, John Gee.
Yes.
well, you actually fall within Liverpool Fire Company area.
I couldn't get a hold of anybody from Liverpool, and nobody returned my calls. I called probably 20 times in the last week, so.
Weren't they somewhat consistent? What do you think?
Yeah,
What do you
there's
think
not-
they would be
Let's
consistent?
see.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know who you were contacting.
What number did he call?
Yeah,
The fire department number.
I mean, the firehouse, whatever, there's nobody staffed there,
Yeah, I
At
know.
the firehouse.
Called them multiple times at the firehouse, yeah.
in which case then there's, fire chief or the president of the fire company.
Yeah, nobody returned any calls.
So I know you did not reach out to either one because I've contacted with people.
What
So
did they tell you?
the fire company chief for
Yeah.
Liverpool or the president of the fire company?
Either one, what they said. Like this
That
guy
they-
said
that
20%.
Nobody's contacted them on behalf of this.
Gotcha. Did he give you a percentage grade though? I mean, this guy said
Oh,
20%.
the fire company, the fire chief referred back to that it's a township ordinance thing, so it falls back into the municipality, in which case that's how everything in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania falls back to the lowest government, which is the municipality, which is here, which falls back to what our ordinances state. So if they're not in compliance with that, then township fire company is not responsible for if your house or building burns down or property is damaged of any of that sort due to the fact that you were not in compliance with their ordinances.
Who would be? Who
There
would
would be a lot of
in that case?
properties wouldn't then in this township.
Who would be
So-
liable in that case if fire company saying they
Not if they were there before the ordinance.
Well,
was
if you're not within the
Because I know
ordinance,
someone's
so
property.
the liability aspect of that, I don't know, in which case you can ask in 2 weeks whenever Dave Jones is here. But I can tell you that those facts personally, so,
Yes, we contacted what we could in this area, which was Newport.
yeah.
And they said 20% max is what they said, so.
Alright.
Which is consistent with a lot of driveways in this township, actually, but, so, what we talked to planning commission, we reviewed the plan with the planning commission, and we're in the process of revising what's up there. The dogs have to get an NPDS permit from the conservation district, it's a known fact that we have to do that. So, we have to modify that driveway to get as close as we can to the township ordinance. And we talked to planning commission, and they recommended 2 waivers, a setback waiver and a grade waiver. And they recommended we come up to speak to you to see if you would also entertain those waivers. we're not gonna go through a process and design this whole driveway and find out at the end of the day that that ain't what you guys wanted. So,
Yeah, we didn't recommend
I
the
was gonna say,
waivers. We
You
recommended
You
that
requested them and recommended that they consider
it
it.
comes up for consideration.
Yeah, but the planning commission is not recommending the waivers, okay? They're recommending that the plan be reviewed by the supervisor.
Because we acknowledged that there was a good effort made to try to bring it as close as they think they can into compliance. So it's close, it's not fully in compliance, but it is a good effort. So we thought it was worth bringing forward to the supervisors, because they don't wanna take much more action until they know sort of where you guys are at. That's what's going on.
So, my opinion, I haven't seen any of the plans,
so
so.
that's why I'm here.
Yep, so.
Okay, so can I
if
present this to you?
Yes, you can present it, and if I can look at the plans, and then I would say we at least wait 2 weeks before we act on this, because I'm not gonna I don't wanna look at something and then act on it in 30 seconds later, personally.
Okay.
So,
Well, that's fair.
but,
Fine. The driveway ordinance, 1996, that was when it was adopted, right? So since 1996, everything needs to follow this, right? We all agree with that? So here's a plan that we have prepared. Down here at Mountain Road, this is the existing driveway that comes in, that goes to the neighbor. And then this was the previous extension that the Dobbs had done without approval, okay? So, the ordinance says max slope is 10%. You're allowed to go 400 feet for a 15-foot section, 15%, but only 400 feet. That's what the ordinance says. So, this is a profile of that driveway, and what we are proposing is to leave the bottom part the way it is, since it was theoretically a permit issued by the township for that section. That's okay, good. And then from from this end where it goes into the neighbors, we are proposing a 15% slope to the top of the ridge, except for a small section that is 180 feet at 17%. Right now, the driveway as it is constructed up there is about 19, it's got 19% grades. Nothing steeper than the section that's down there, but it is some, it goes up to 19%.
And you say there's nothing you can do to get that any closer to the ordinance than what you got right now. Not even without putting in switchback.
I mean, we can definitely put switchbacks.
And that's gonna bring that degree of slope down.
It will bring it down, but
It's more.
we're tearing up the whole hillside, didn't we?
We're already tearing up the whole.
No, that's not true, it's already there.
Well, how wide's that cartway going up there now? How wide is it?
Probably 10 to 12 feet.
10 to 12 feet. And with that drop off the side of that driveway.
so, my first question,
Go ahead.
if I
Go ahead.
can interrupt you for a second here. This here, where is that designated as on here for your slope indicator?
Sure, so station 3,
Yeah,
which would be station 3, so
Oh.
right here.
okay, thank you. I just didn't know how
That's
these
okay.
two maps correlate
Yeah,
together.
Sure. So this solid line here
Yeah,
is the proposed grade that meets those slope requirements. So this existing dash line, that's the existing grade that's up there today. Okay, so, and then what I did do was take this 15% up to where it starts to get steeper, the 70%. If we had extended that 15% the whole way through, then this is how much you would be lowering the existing driveway by. It's like 3.6 feet, 3.6 feet, 3.6 feet. You have to cut that down to get that to 15 through that section. But you'd be tearing up more.
well, at some point in time, that hillside was tore up to put that driveway in, that path, whatever you wanna call it, in as it was.
Yeah.
So,
I agree. It was,
so,
Just
What
about every
was-
property in the mountain.
now,
is
so
tore up
let me
in
ask you a
some way.
question. So what triggers a driveway permit here in the township? Do you guys know that answer?
That's the first thing you gotta do when you're gonna do something. You get your driveway permit, your septic permit, or the
Is
first
that even
thing.
extending an existing driveway?
That's even extending an existing driveway.
And that's happened since 1996 here?
We're not in 1996.
No, we are.
Is this the
We
first
are.
time you've ever worked in the township? You just know that answer?
We are most definitely looking at the same ordinance though.
Anybody that disturbs the driveway gets a permit. If they
Yeah.
widen the driveway, if they lengthen the driveway, if they pave the driveway.
Put millings on it.
Putting millings on it?
That too.
Intelligence do that.
What is the penalty for putting a driveway in without getting a permit?
I don't know the answer to that.
That's a double fee.
That's
Right
double
off
fee.
the bat.
It's a what?
It's a
Double
double
fee.
driveway permit fee right off the bat. If you do anything
Okay, so
without a
50
permit,
bucks, it's 100.
if
It's
you
100.
do anything in Buffalo Township without a permit, he's gonna write you up for a double permit. That's his category right there. That's-
Well, you understand, we
Exactly.
are
Yeah.
in 2024,
Okay.
but you have to understand, your ordinance hasn't changed since 1996.
Okay,
So we're
you're-
still
you're
looking
asking-
at,
Okay.
You're asking for waivers,
yes, I am.
and in the ordinance, it says that you have to put in writing what the hardship is for that waiver, and reason why there's no other possible way that you can do it without that waiver.
Okay.
In writing, you have to do that for a waiver. It's in the ordinance.
I agree. There's no way we can talk about whether you guys would entertain this. I mean, it sounds
Guys
like
are idiots.
you don't want to entertain it, so
You're here talking, I'm entertaining it.
Yeah.
you're entertaining what?
Oh,
The way,
What you're presenting to us.
so what I'm saying is that, and I think there's other people that mentioned in the planning commission too, that whole mountain up there has deep driveways. And there has been expansions on driveways within this township within the last 3-4 years that are steeper than this. So how did they end up getting that? Is there any answers?
Where's this driveway at?
Yeah,
Okay,
right
we
now.
will gladly look at that.
Yes,
So we have,
so we know where to go and see what's going on here.
okay, so we have one here. Address 1764 Old Trail Road.
That's mine, that was 10 years ago.
Oh, let's look at it. Let's look at it.
Yeah, but you put another one in the back.
Yeah.
That's off the state road. You don't need a permit from the
Oh,
township, come
you
off the state road.
Well, your ordinance.
Off state
Off the
road.
state road, it doesn't, read the ordinance, it says township road. So, give me another one, Joe.
All right, I'll give you another one.
Yeah.
So we have 360 Mountain Road.
One parcel.
One parcel, two parcels down. In 2012, it looked like that. That's all woods. 2015, 16, there's a house up there. 2016. And here's the grades. Starting down at the road, 18, 16, 15, 12, 28, 25, 33, 31, 25, 20, 25, 31, and 26, and 26. Two properties down from this one.
Who did that subdivision?
I don't know, subdivision don't matter, it's permit issue, it must be issued. You can probably get it through right now.
Yeah, find out who issued the permit,
Yeah.
because I know it wasn't me.
Yeah,
Probably the same person that issued Kelly's.
because like I said, we're not going backwards, we're going forward.
Well, no, we have to go with, we have
It's pertinent, that's what you're
If-
talking
If
about.
somebody else signed those permits and he didn't write them.
What about
we
two
don't
months
know
ago?
about
It doesn't
We
matter.
weren't here, we don't know about
Let's get it done.
That's a cop out.
Let's just get it done. Now, hold on, let's look at it.
Give us another one so I know where to go.
So we have 245 Meadow Grove,
What was it again?
245 Meadow Grove,
345.
245.
245. Let it go through.
Yeah. So 2012, that's what it looked like. All woods,
Yeah, wasn't here.
all woods. 2020, 2016, started getting something up through here. 2020, something started getting up there to a house. 2020, here's the driveway permit guide from 2016 on.
House was already up there. There was already a existing driveway up there when I wrote, Corey Fry's permit for his house.
That right.
Yeah, so again, 2016 it wasn't there. 2020 it was there. And those grades go from 20 to 16 to 20 to 10, 13 to 14 to 18 to 28, 13 to 18 to 20.
We shoot that permit.
Pretty steep.
28.
Again, same ordinance. Same ordinance.
It's hard to just look at the pictures. I mean, there's a lot of assumptions made too, because in the Fry property, there were people there before Fry was there. You know, there was stuff going on, so it's hard to.
I'm sorry.
He added 2
What
seconds.
do you mean by that? They lived in a cabin there and they
Yeah,
extended
two
the road
houses.
back to
Two
two
houses.
They
houses.
extended the driveway
No,
2,000.
I'm there clearly on this photograph in 2012.
Just like
That was
our place. There's a house down below and they extended with two back in there. Like 2,000 feet of driveway, and they did not need a permit. Everything went through the planning commission. You guys approved these houses and approved them being put in.
We can talk to the excavator on it and see, you know. When it was done.
I'm sure he
Or cut it in.
And there was discussion, I guess, from Evie, or from Gary Nag about his driveway.
Yes.
And he's 16, 13, 20, 15, 17, 13, 13, 17. So he's up there as well.
Yeah, I know he turned around and had a discussion with me and whatever, saying that his permits were held up for 3 years, if I remember correctly from the conversation, of trying to get permits to do that, by fighting with the township. Obviously, I was not sitting here at that point in time, but there was other people sitting here. And by all means, it's one of those things of, just like any place, you're gonna have people that violate the laws and everything else and do whatever they want to because they feel that they can.
Well, I think-
And by all means, I'm not gonna sit here and try and jeopardize or punish somebody that is trying to do things appropriately, but at the same time, that whenever things are being done, that they should be done appropriately. And yes, those ones that, according to your pictures, which, hearsay, because I didn't obtain them, I don't know how you obtained them or whatever, I don't know how to get that information to justify the legal ramifications behind it, obviously.
Yeah.
So with that, I can't go around inspecting everybody's property every single day to see what they're doing.
I don't disagree. Now, talking also about if the driveway comes off of the state road, you don't need a permit?
Yeah, you do.
You
Safe.
Well,
From the
let's,
state.
so let's,
Don't
we were
mistake.
so we were just talking about fire company accesses and houses, right? We're talking about that. So the fire company, because that's a state highway, is not gonna go up to that house and access. It's safety in the township. This driveway ordinance is for safety as well as for the slope. You just said that. So, I understand, Tony, you said you come off the state, but the grades should still apply to this ordinance because of safety in Buffalo Township. And you're at 25, 35% slopes coming up down the state there.
Yeah.
And so it should also still apply.
Well, take me to court on it.
You know what I mean? I'm not taking you to court. I'm just clearly saying, where does this start? Why is this,
Serious?
all of this seems to be
Serious?
starting now with the dogs?
Jesus.
Because it seems like it wasn't done in the past. Fry's wasn't that long ago. And it doesn't seem like it's fair to the dogs to just.
So it's not fair to the Dobbs that they did that without a permit.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm not saying
it's not fair to the Dobbs that they put septic and well
There's no
and.
septic up
It
there.
has nothing to do
So
with
you
the
don't have
driveway.
septic pipes in that concrete?
We have a couple pipes in the
There's
concrete.
no
Oh,
building.
so you do have a couple
There's
pipes.
not a septic system up there.
What we're talking about is the driveway right now.
I think you have to look at it in context individually. So,
And
let's say.
and we don't know if there were waivers granted on any of these
They're
either.
waiting for it.
Or if they came in and.
How would you get a waiver for
Have a history
30%?
of each one of these. And I will tell you that whenever people are doing things, they're doing it with the township, they're doing it with Tony, or who the code guy is, the driveway guy, the supervisors,
and supervisors can issue a waiver. And so without going back through all the records, I
So if
can't
we did right to know
reconstruct.
request, we would be able to see that.
Uh,
what you're saying.
Well, I don't know that, I'm just saying,
Should,
well, okay,
Yeah,
I mean,
it
it's
should.
fair to say that, but what does that mean? Because in
a
the
right to
end,
know
in
request.
the end, this is a political board. They're appointed, well, not appointed, but they're voted in. And they will sometimes waive things or not. And they could waive one guy and the next door neighbor has to comply all the way through. You know, you
But
can,
they should be consistent.
they can be what they want to be.
Well,
Because it's a
that's-
political.
This is
I'm
all being
telling you.
recorded,
Does it
right?
matter?
This is all being recorded.
So-
It's
So-
being recorded.
So they can
but-
just do what they
but
want.
it's-
Hold on.
Do whatever you want.
Hey!
Go ahead, what?
I'm speaking.
Let's hear it.
So first of all, this meeting is going to be maintained as some semblance of order, first of all, with that. So, more so not than just the political aspect of it, it's just that we're all humans, period. Human nature is that you tend to go one way or another for no matter what it is. We're humans, we're all that way. We're not a computer, we're not designated that this is black and that's white and that's it. We deal within the gray areas. I know this very well. I do try, me personally, I can sit here and I'll testify in a court of law. I try and hold the same fairness across the board no matter who you are or anything. So, I'm not going to sit here and allow anybody to turn around and say that I'll be waived one way or another for one person or another, because me personally, my personal ethical values and views are that I try and be the same way across the board, period.
You should be.
And I can only deal with things that are presented to me. If it's not presented to me, I don't know about it. I can't address them and deal with those because I don't know about it. How can I address something that I don't know about? So, with that, I'm addressing things that I know about, okay? So with that we will take this in consideration. However, I truly greatly appreciate your information of these other places whenever I have other things, kind of broadens my perspective and outlook of the entire thing. But by all means, I will not allow any single person in this room or anywhere try and say that I'm going to waiver because of politicality or because of family or anything of that. I'm sitting here as an elected official of this township, and this is how I'm going to be across the board. I don't care who you are.
Excuse me, sir, but if it's double the percentage of slope multiple times, there was definitely favoritism, right?
I cannot
Double
say
the
that
percentage,
because
double, not 2%, not 3%, double the percentage. that's
I'm
allowed.
hearing exactly what you're saying, and I can't say that there was favoritism or not. It could have been just somebody that did something without us ever knowing about it.
Right.
And we're just finding out about it now.
You would have had to go to them to get a driveway permit after the fact, just like you're doing here. They made a
So-
mistake and jumped the gun on things that they're trying to
From
rectify.
other
trying to
places in
fix.
this municipality, I know, but I can't prove it personally, that has built houses and they've showed up after the fact with a plan that has pre-existing buildings on it, and they weren't there years ago. I remember that they weren't, and they magically appeared, and now they're listed on the plan as pre-existing. So, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
For me to go back and fight that, it's a little after the fact, and trying to prove it is rather difficult. You gotta pick your battles and fights at right times. We're dealing with this ordinance of this driveway here. Okay, so let's stay focused on that.
Yeah. Now, at any entrance into Hunter Valley, Bucks Valley, there's signs up, permits required. So the first thing before you do anything, you go ahead and go to the township, find out what's going on. Now, are you the one that started to engineer this, that the driveway was there? Are you the engineer
Before
during that
they put
driveway
it
there?
in?
Yeah.
No, I didn't tell them to put that driveway in there, the way it is.
Oh, okay.
I
I'm
can
just
say,
The
saying.
forester
Okay.
went up there and cut the trees up.
I can show
Go
you.
ahead.
In 2012, we reached out to Tony about getting an agricultural building permit. And I told him then that we were gonna be putting an agricultural building on the north side of our 10 acres in this same area.
Okay.
At that time, there was no mention that we needed a driveway permit to get up there. There was no mention of that at all.
You
Our
told me,
mistake, now let me finish. The mistake that we made, we were gonna get that, then we were gonna look into doing the subdivision, get our septic site tested and that, and then put a camper up there, and then later build a house, okay? This thing evolved because friends of ours, the McClures, renovated their house and gave us a kitchen. So we changed our plan to put all that in the same building.
Correct.
Okay, and that was one of those things we should have reached back out then to see if our building permit needed changed for that.
Correct.
But it shouldn't change the fact that the access to get up there, nobody mentioned to us once at all that we needed to have a driveway to get to the building we were building. We got a building permit for the building in this location. What we changed was that we were gonna put a kitchen now in this building. That's what the change is.
That's not all that changed. It was supposed to be an agricultural pole building.
Right.
But you
It was
still
north
said-
side of my
Is
building.
it still an agricultural pole building?
We're gonna, well, right now, there's no kitchen in it yet. I mean, we gotta stop this and all this.
It's got footers and block. That's not a pole building.
Well, I got a pool building in my house, it's got footers and walls around it,
Yeah, I don't know what
most definitely.
what does that change? as
Yeah,
far as
it's
the
got a
access?
retaining wall around one side, and it's got a pool building, got a fisher's building, most definitely.
So you're saying they set
That
that
helps. It
wall
doesn't-
on
On that
retaining
retaining
wall
wall.
block?
Here's the,
Take
if you guys
pictures
wanna
of
look,
it.
this is the permit that I got from him. It's a 40 by
Three
48
sides, huh?
building, says garage on it, actually proposed work for a garage. New construction, 2 stories, agricultural, other, metal. I mean, that's it right there, there's anything about pole.
And you also said that you were just walking from your house
No.
to get to it.
I told you it was
You
on
didn't
the
tell me
north
you were
side of
on
my
a
10 acres.
1,500-foot driveway.
I told you it was on the north side of 10 acres. I asked if you wanted to go see it, you said no, that's fine. That's what you told me.
So,
What's the next step?
Yeah.
This, all I'm saying is, that's why we didn't know about this driveway orders. It's not online. Front doors extended into 2 properties, 2 houses.
Alright.
They didn't need it. We didn't know we would need it, or we would have
So-
needed it.
so you're coming looking for waivers for this driveway,
For the slope
for the slope?
and the setback off the property line.
2 ways.
There's 2 ways, yes.
And if this would have been approached before everything started with this driveway,
Go ahead, keep talking.
would we still be here arguing with this situation?
Well, I had one person just tell me, okay, you had told me that. You had told me, you said, well, if they got permits, then we wouldn't be in this situation.
I said to you, why didn't Thomas just come and get a driveway permit from the beginning?
Right.
Okay? We're changing the way we do business here at Buffalo Township on one thing. Anytime anybody gets, and it hasn't, I just got the phone numbers today. Anytime anybody gets any ground parked anymore, we want to be notified by Juliana Sewage. That way we can go back and check to see if there's a driveway permit. If they're not, then he can approach it that way. But why didn't Thomas just come and check on the driveway?
Well, he just
He
told
lives
me.
right there.
Driveway.
He could have drove right here 2 days a week and asked the secretary, what permits do I need?
Well, he's in this building. You can ask him that. He's
I
right there.
asked the guy in charge of the building permits for the building permit. He didn't say anything about the driveway permit, and I didn't think I would need one, being that the driveway is 325 feet up the mountain already.
You would think.
Why would I think that I would need a driveway permit to go off of that driveway?
What you call 325 feet up the driveway is a logging road.
No, it's,
Okay, and
I have the
you're
driveway
turning
permit.
it into a
You're
driveway,
saying
it's
that-
coming off as a driveway.
Are you telling me that driveway is not a driveway? Is that what you're saying?
Are you
Because
saying,
your solicitor said that I altered the driveway.
Paperwork that Kelly put in, it was a permit put in to clear a logging
No,
path.
it's not. It's a driveway. It says driveway.
It goes
on the
to his-
permit.
it goes to
And
his-
it's not Kelly. It's for Robert Crispin in 2010.
Crispin wrote the permit too, didn't he?
No, it's his permit. It's to
Yeah,
him.
but
Over
whose
4
signature
down the
was on the
road.
bottom of the permit?
I can't make it out.
Robert Crispin.
Okay, so what does that
He
mean
was the
then?
permit guy then.
So it's not a driveway because the permit guy issued the permit? I don't understand what you're, is it a driveway or is it not a driveway that's already existing on my property at 20-degree slope in the setback from 2010? Is that a driveway
Do
or
you
is
want
that
to
not
step
a
in
driveway?
front?
Without a waiver. And it already doesn't.
You would assume if you got a building permit, that you have to drive it from the
Sure, it
first.
seems like it is.
Wouldn't that be something to think about? If you got a building permit for something.
Don't you think you'd wanna, don't you think, Becky brought this up to you at the planning commission meeting,
About what?
about the approach you should have taken with your client on that driveway.
He
You should have said,
wasn't
hey, this
involved
driveway.
then.
I wasn't even involved.
He wasn't
wasn't
involved
involved
until
in
you
it.
guys started calling everybody, Art.
I was not involved
He
until
wasn't
they
He
got
wasn't involved until you
subdivided.
called conservation. Don't stop
It was not me.
Okay.
I was not even
So
involved.
the driveway, there was no design for the driveway.
No, afterwards,
I'd rather Fisher put it in.
So, obviously, we're here with the driveway to fix it,
yes,
Right.
that's what I'm
So-
trying to help
so-
them
to get to a
to get to a resolution
resolution
with you guys.
with us to fix the driveway.
That's correct.
So,
And DEP, because they have a conservation district issue with the disturbance.
we're talking about driveway.
I understand. It's a part of it.
So with that, with fixing the driveway, does the plan that you're presenting to us come in compliance with the ordinance?
No.
Not referencing anybody else, just this particular situation.
No.
So,
It was presented to the planning commission,
and then
and
they
they
pushed
also
it,
thought that we did the best we could with the property that we had, and that's why they told us to come here, to see if you would approve it. And if you approve the waivers, then we're gonna take and we're gonna go back to the drawing board, do a subdivision plan, stormwater control for the driveway, everything we need to do to satisfy the stormwater aspects and John Madden. But we're not gonna go spend all that money until I know that we're going down the right path, right? So,
I understand,
that's
and
why
I
we're
respect that 100%, because,
but yeah, seriously, that
so,
driveway was put in way before I was involved. I have
Okay.
nothing to do with that.
noted,
I'm only here to help them get out of this.
gotcha. Alright, so we'll take all this information. I personally do not feel of acting upon this tonight because I was just given a whole bunch of information because you probably spent a lot of time to put all this together
I did.
They don't go over here.
in 2 weeks. So,
Well, are you gonna comply with putting that in writing on
Yes.
the waiver, what
I'll
the
put
hardship is?
that in writing and send you something.
Okay.
I'll do that.
so,
Yeah, that would be.
Then are you gonna put on there what the materials are proposed to be used on the driveway?
Yeah, I would propose that we use the same as what the ordinance is. Yes.
yeah, you can do all that and then we can
Yeah.
make a motion or move forward on this one in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Okay?
We can do that.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I would only add that they got a building permit, so you think you'd get a driver's permit before a building permit. That's all.
Okay. Anything else?
You want me to leave these plans
I
here?
was gonna ask if he was gonna leave a copy with you. Can you
yeah.
get that, Keith?
Know what's going
Can you
on.
get that to Liverpool Fire Company and see what their thoughts are?
Hey, do you have an extra set?
I personally talked to him.
That's good,
Okay.
we'll figure it out.
I just have one thing, you guys should be ashamed of yourselves, really. You should really be ashamed of yourselves.
Who owns around, him and her? Who owns the property?
That's his, that's Michael.
That's him.
That's his dog.
Beside,
Okay? If they went a little longer, if you give them a little bit more, no.
nope. They're already putting an extra switchback in, they're already tearing up more property and widening the road to get to your, they're so close to your ordinance. And you guys are all still, oh, no. And then he just showed you, you have 20-30% all over the place. While you guys were on the board in the last 10 years. A lot of this stuff, it's ridiculous what you're putting them through.
Further
Sure,
out
they
you
were,
go, the more the grade
I'm sorry,
straightens
what?
out. I say the longer it is, the less grade you got.
I
Okay?
understand, I'm a forester, I understand.
Okay, then you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, first of all,
yeah.
of being ashamed of myself, because that was a personal
That's my
attack.
opinion.
That is your opinion, and you're allowed to have your opinion, and I'll gladly, your opinion is your opinion. I haven't been sitting here for 10 years,
Yeah, hope nobody here ever needs my help, I can tell you that.
so,
Just for you too.
well, that's
It's
nice
not
to know
about
that.
favors and help, it's about the law and what's written, and
Right.
that's why we have
Yeah.
the ordinances and the zonings and everything, and if this is your first time doing business in Buffalo Township, then I understand you not understanding, but I know you have lots of property holdings, and surely you have to know the ordinances in these places.
I do, and they're-
So if you know the ordinances in these places, why do you come in, and I know that Thomas is also in real estate, and I know that they've been there for a little while, and this is nothing personal, I don't dislike you, I have nothing against you, I don't really know you. I look at this paperwork, these ordinances, and I'm still in the learning process. So forgive me if I'm out of line at all here with this, but my brain says to me when I look at that, these were written for a reason. When you're asking for 50% above what the allowable grade is, I think that's a lot. But I don't know, so that's why I sit there and I take the minutes and I learn.
But
So I'm trying to understand.
2 months ago, you just issued a driveway permit to Fry's, and theirs is twice as steep. 2 months ago.
I didn't issue a
I
permit.
know, but I'm saying,
But
that's
I-
what we're saying, is all of a sudden now.
And I
we're
understand,
being
I
held to
understand,
standard
I'm not
no one
disagreeing
else
with
has
consistency.
ever been
I
held
love
to in this
consistency, but
township.
that's why I love these ordinances, that's why I love the laws,
Nobody has
because
been held to this.
that's supposed to be the consistency.
Alright,
Shut it down, and that-
But
It's
it's,
not
and
as
again,
strict. What the hell is it, you know?
alright. We're moving on, okay? I allowed you to speak more than what I need to, okay? So, moving on. Anything else for planning commission?
can I have a minute, book?
No,
Well,
no, nothing else.
You want a
Yeah,
minute,
my
a
vote?
minute
minute
book.
book.
Pardon?
My
Minute book.
Oh.
One
no,
that
we
you take
just-
pages out
That's the
to
only thing.
make copies on.
Huh, what's that?
One that you can take pages out.
Yeah, I emailed, you got, did the picture come through? Yeah, the piece that, okay,
I have one question.
go.
You have 4 pages of minutes.
I changed the font. All it is Control A, click. I changed it down to 11. It came down to 5, went to 3. So
Okay.
4 would probably go
Because I was
to 2.
gonna say,
Yeah, I know the font was
yeah,
big.
and you have a lot of,
That's-
you have a lot, I know
I
you
changed it like
know
that.
the minute thing. You have a lot of your minutes you probably don't need to put in. There's different little things.
Well-
I see you writing the whole time, and you gotta have writer's cramp till you're done. And the minutes are good, but there's probably some stuff, if you need more space.
But they're my minutes.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? When you take minutes, your minutes are your minutes. My minutes are my minutes. So that's
Okay.
kind of how that rolls. And so I promise I will use as few pages as I
I'll make a
can.
motion to get
But
the
it should
minutes.
last us no less than 3 years.
I'll second it.
So I got a motion, second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
From
Opposed?
PSATs, correct?
From PSATs.
Please, yeah, the one I sent with the security code on the edge of the page and everything.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I believe they're $185.
Yep.
Yep,
Yeah,
okay.
and it's pretty.
Ah.
And I think the book we've
Nothing
been
on
using we
Sal,
had
though.
for 40 years, so it was quite an
It was
investment.
very
Big
old.
book. We've had minutes for 40 years in it.
Nothing on Sal, though. They didn't get into it yet. They got other,
We haven't had a meeting since you guys had your last meeting.
Right.
So we
Yeah.
didn't get into nothing.
so, you didn't get into any of the Saldo yet.
We did do some of the saldo, section 3, yeah.
You got started on
And then we switched to the plan and then.
the ordinance because we're trying to get the ordinance done.
Yeah.
And the plan took a lot of time this
We'll
last
have one
year.
more on it, yep, it's our second. Few more ordinances.
And you're still working on the solar.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moving in, Roadmaster.
Okay, the website is up.
No, Roadmaster, not website. Website
Well,
falls
that's-
under old
that's-
business.
That's part of mine.
Yes, that's part of
We can
it.
cover that under old business.
Um, we got the millings in for on the edge of the road. And, the mowing's completed. He broke down. That's done. The trash was all taken to the scrap dealer today, and the tires were taken in, and Nancy probably has a number. You have a number of the
We collected $230.
donations in for tires.
Yeah, someone did donate $50, which was very nice. But yeah, we charged for the white appliances and tires. So in all, we collected $230. We got $141 for the scrap metal. So
I think the tires were like 32
$32.
something.
Yeah,
And we only filled up one dumpster because, once again, I think the website's gonna help. But-
right.
And there's gonna be another sign put up, probably in front of the township building next year, a couple of weeks prior to, and at the end of Medicare.
Well, that only got advertised once, right? It only got
Yes,
advertised once?
yes.
Yeah, I
One
think if
year.
it would have been the 2 weeks, it would have been more, yeah.
It could be. I just think the website's gonna help so
Help a lot.
much.
Because I need those reminders.
Did you guys get the new truck fixed, so the tailgates better work?
Yeah, but, I talked to Dave, he's coming up to look at that. Or Rick, he's coming up to look at that. Everything else is working.
And I have a
We're,
comment on Roadmaster. Looking at that culvert on Lover's Lane, it's getting a sinkhole alongside of it.
Which one?
The one I pointed out the other year,
There at the end of the road, it comes down through the yard.
Yeah, goes over the beams.
Well, we'll bring a load of number sixes over and dump around the end of that pipe, that'll take care of
Is
it.
that the one right there?
It's in that yard.
Yeah, but it's not on the beam side.
Before you
It's on the
get to the
other
old
side,
landing
it's the same.
place.
Okay.
It's on the other side.
It's on Beam side.
Not on beam side, it's on.
Yeah, it's on the the inlet end, yeah.
Yeah. Inlay inversion.
Alright, new business.
We just talked about cleanup day, so.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I jumped on that.
No, you're all good. So you can put that wherever, because I was actually gonna kind of cover that under old business of how well spring cleanup went, because I was working, so I wasn't there, so. But from what I understand, it went well, worked out well,
Yeah.
what I was told, so.
Beautiful day?
Yeah, it's really nice.
Old business, did Teats ever pay his bill yet?
No.
How long are we gonna go?
Who?
Teats, Mr. Teats.
I can send a reminder, I mean, it's $3,600. When did I
interest.
bill that?
Plus interest.
Well, there's legalities to that.
Okay. It shows, you know,
Yeah.
this
Well,
day
I
and
mean,
age,
we won't sign that plan until that's paid.
Right.
Yeah, but I'd like to see the township get reimbursed this year.
Well,
You know what I mean?
that's why I say interest.
Well,
It's
Normal people get bills that
Yeah.
are due in 30 days, not a year and a half from now.
I
You
know.
know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
Alan knows that.
and you said Megan has
Teats.
the website up? You said the website is up?
Yeah,
Do you know the name it?
the website is, as of today, I got contacted by her. It is perrybuffalotwp.org. And when you go on the page, it gives an introduction to Buffalo Township, but up at the top, where it says Buffalo Township.pa, there's 3 bars to the left of that. If you touch those 3 bars, it brings up a index page for ordinances, permits and fees, calendar, and township government. So you can get into all and there'll be, I didn't go into the whole thing, but there's supposed to be an application in there that if there's a township worthy item coming up, you can put in that application, send it to the administrator. The township will get a copy of it for review to see if we want to put it on the page, on the calendar.
That's not right.
But it has to be,
Megan has her own phone number for township building.
Yeah.
in what?
Township building phone number.
It's
Is wrong.
3295, not 3045.
Yeah, I wonder where she got that. Well, we'll fix that. That's easy
Yeah,
to fix. I mean, I just gotta send it.
I just happened to see it, and I was like,
Well, I already sent in, there was typos. She used some of the pages out of the township history book. I don't know if anybody saw it. Did you ever see the orange book from back in Centennial book? Well, she just took some of she took Joyce Corkle's page out of there. And there were typos in Joyce's page in the book. And she screenshot it and added it to the page, and I called her and said there was a couple typos, and she was able to go in. I said, I don't know if you can, 'cause you're not the author, but she was able to get into it and correct those. So there are typos probably in some of that work that it's probably not hers, but she can correct it. So it's new. I think it's going to be helpful. Let your dad know, because he really wanted that.
Yeah,
So,
he'll set up all week looking at it.
yeah.
No,
Well, he wanted it because of the ordinance book, so the ordinance book is in there. And that's, and you got recorded the name, so you can get into it. And it's got a picture of the old stone church and a couple other pictures.
did you get into it?
A Google search.
BuffaloTWP.org.
Yeah.
Perry Buffalo TWP.
perrybuffalo@twp.org. We try to make it easy to remember. And there's like 3 or 4 Buffalo townships. And that's what made it hard, because everything that we tried to get with Buffalo Township in it, somebody already had.
Yeah, when you do a Google search, it's every township but ours.
Yeah. So, I hope everybody likes it for now.
Well, everybody will read for a while.
Anything else under old business?
I just have one question. So who does the updates now to the, and the and who's going to do the updates to the website?
The administrator.
Okay, and that's Maggie?
Yep.
All right, so.
She won't do any updates to the webpage without the authorization of the board of supervisors.
Yeah, technically.
Because we don't want it to turn into something that's not Buffalo Township business. So it's, if you got a date you want to add to the calendar for something, there'll be stuff, anything we get new Nancy will let us know, and it'll go on the page. Any upcoming things that we want the public to know about.
Okay, thank you.
And the meeting dates and stuff, I think, are in there. I haven't had a chance to look at the whole thing. I got it when I was on the road today, and I clicked on it just to see what it looked like. And I didn't know to click on the 3 bars at the top left to get into the rest of the page, and I sent her a message, and she said, click on the 3 bars at the top, and just click the index. So. And the index is probably going to get bigger.
Yeah. One thing I saw was like phone number there, a couple of little things need to be fixed. Actually, I missed something with everything else going on under new business. That we had an application turned in.
Oh, new business, okay.
Saw it sitting here and I realized that I skipped over my day. So we actually have an application for Blake Lindsay. We got all of his paperwork here for him to work as a part-time employee. He's 14, is that correct? Whatever. He's aware of the mother is aware of child labor laws, because I know that's very strict, especially for minors. Of that.
3295.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
So, don't see any major issues with that. Just be brought in as
As long as he works for one of the supervisors when he works.
obviously with that to be noted that he would have to, for sure, like, don't quote me, but the posters over there for work hours, whatever.
Yeah.
I have all the information from child labor law, and I just wanted to note that
Yep.
under the General Assembly of Act 2012, Act 151, it's 5 hours with lunch, 2.5 to 3 hours with a break. No more than 6 consecutive days. In the school, he can work 20 hours a week during school. He can work 40 hours a week in the summer. Of course, we don't work 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
So,
What's the insurance? Like, do we cover people that's under 18?
yeah. Yeah, I called
I was gonna say, like, this is the first time. I've heard of
Look, I
14
knew
people.
I was gonna have a lot of questions. I called PSATs. PSATs sent me a whole page full of stuff to check with. I contacted, Labor Relations about the child labor law. They sent me websites to go on to get documentation of what I needed, to answer those questions. So, it's, can't start before 7 a.m., can't work after 7 p.m., can't run any equipment, heavy equipment, pick and shovel. And he can work with any of the supervisors. He's not getting hired to work with his back, okay? He's getting hired to work with Mr. Whitmer and Keith. When they need him, he'll be available, if he's selected.
What's he requesting, $40 an hour or something?
42.
No. So he would,
I
in my
make a
sense,
motion.
would be as same as in the past, we've had unskilled laborers, so he
Right.
would come in at that rate.
What rate is that?
Minimum wage,
Minimum
What
wage,
is minimum wage?
$7.60.
25 cents.
Or $7.
7.25.
$7.25.
Neighbors, I can't afford a kid for $7.25.
I get that.
I
too.
know.
But,
You just give part-time Amish guys $2 an hour raise.
right.
Yeah, let's bring up, this is why it's up, let's have a comment on what is fair to do with this kid. I don't know of anybody that
You
would
know
have
how
to
they're
start
gonna
out
work
there.
when they're out there.
Oh,
So-
no, we've
so
had employees that.
Minimum, I would say $10 without even seeing what the kid can do.
Correct.
Now, if the kid works better than you, Abe,
Yep,
he needs more money.
I know.
Well, and in the past, whatever, I know we've had employees work for $7.25 in the past.
I know. What did
When?
your kid start?
Huh?
When?
His son started here at, I thought,
No.
7 something.
Who did?
No.
Thomas.
Thomas.
No, he's-
did.
Oh, no,
Oh,
Keith
yeah.
Boy started here at 1250.
Yeah. So, but by all means, I know that they've been pushing to try and take minimum wage to $10. So, I would not be opposed to $10. He's a worker.
Let's go a little.
I've never seen the person work.
Yeah.
Neither did I. Well, yes, I have. I worked beside the guy one time.
So, I mean, I would make a motion to bring him on and start him at $10, and it's something we can revisit anybody's
Yeah, we
pay
can
at any
review
point
it
in time.
in a couple.
But the biggest thing is noted is following the labor laws, because
Yeah.
I know, if I remember correctly, 5 hours.
I do
If he
want to.
hits 5 hours and 1
Copy
minute,
that.
we're in violation.
I have the official document.
So,
I
prior to
just
5
need-
hours, he
when
needs
I
to
get
have
out there and
lunch.
get started something, I don't want to run over because I want it with me when I go.
He'll
Because,
remind you when he's hungry.
oh, well,
yeah, well,
Well,
Did
there's a
you-
motion on the table. Somebody gonna second it?
I put the motion on the table to carry him at
Gary
$10 an hour.
Okay.
so I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. So,
Did you wanna officially abstain, Art?
I do.
Well, then you gotta say it.
I officially abstain.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
as I said, my only note was making sure that it doesn't hit that 5 hours, 1 minute, because technically the township is at liability then.
Yep,
So, prior to that, it needs to have a 30-minute lunch. If it's gonna be longer than that. Public comment. Anything good for the township? Not?
Wait a minute, back up, you missed all the business.
No, I did hit that. That's where we talked about the website. But you have something under old?
Yeah, the roof quotes, I called that Equity
Oh,
Roofing
okay.
to contact me. They sent a notice that to you, to the township, that they wanted to know what was going on, and I sent email back to them that I wanted to talk to them about a couple of things that's missing in their quote. Jason Martin said that I contacted both of them. I didn't get to talk to anybody at Equity, but Jason Martin is $752 less than Equity, but he isn't gonna be able to start the roof before probably cold weather. And he said he doesn't care if he loses his job or not, he's that busy.
Okay.
But
50 years.
Equity Roofing, you had mentioned that they were gonna blow in the insulation. but
no,
that-
they
Yeah,
line
it's like
item.
$9,000 that they want.
They just line item that as
Yeah.
a separate bid
And
on their bid.
they didn't have in there for covering the fascia and wrapping the fascia and stuff with aluminum. And I wanted to talk to them about that, if they put that in. For the difference, I mean, we can pick any bid we want because it's under that, it's under the amount.
Well, no, when you are doing work on a township building or whatever, $25,000
It's in less.
and less.
Yeah.
But
Above,
above 25,000 is prevailing wage.
right.
When you work on a
Oh,
township
okay.
building.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we didn't get a prevailing wage bid. If it
Well,
would have been
that's-
prevailing
that's
wage,
good.
it would have probably been
That's a good
$50,000 job.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
What
normally
is the
it's-
bid so far?
well, we got one no bid, and, we had, Jason Martin at,
Roof bids. Okay.
Keith, you got him on your phone?
That's what I'm looking.
Don't forget structural changes to the roof is gonna require a building permit.
What?
Structural changes to the roof will require a building permit.
Yes.
I think
We're,
they'll waive that.
No.
Yes, they'll
we
waive
don't
that.
have to get a building permit.
We need a
It's
building
not what
permit.
the sign says
Well,
out
you
here,
have to
we're
get
from off
BIU.
1115.
BIU, right?
Yeah,
BIU?
too, yeah.
We don't need BIU to inspect this.
Yeah,
Structural change you do.
yeah.
So if you were just replacing the roof with metal, you don't need a permit.
We're adding structure, we're not building any structure.
Or you're
We're
adding
adding a couple
structure,
racks.
that's structural change.
So we're making it stronger. Why do we need to have it inspected to make it
Because
stronger?
it's still a change.
Call BIU and ask them, I don't know why.
I just,
It's a
I gotta,
stupid-
I gotta
it's a
tell you
stupid
this.
law.
I gotta tell you this because you're recording this. I called the commissioner's office today and asked a question about BIU. I said, BIU is funded by the commissioner's office, okay? They pay BIU to be there. And I got Frank Campbell to call me back, and I asked him, I said, where's the enforcement? I said, if somebody like this project
They don't
we're
enforce.
just talking about, where all these violations are up on the side of that mountain, I said, who enforces it?
Yeah.
They don't have any. So in other words, why should I get BIU to inspect anything? Why should I tell you you gotta spend $900 on inspections if there's no enforcement?
Well, they don't get their certificate of occupancy.
But see, you're being held hostage for $900 because you gotta have a piece of paper from
But
them.
that's a
and
state
there's no enforcement.
regulation, a state enforced regulation.
Yep, you see.
I'm not letting go of that because I had heard that if the township doesn't have enforcement and BIU doesn't have enforcement, the county has to pay for the enforcement and they have to have somebody do it. So I want that enforcement. Right now, we need that enforcement more than ever.
Right, I agree with you. Like, but the county's like, that's
Yeah,
what you're for.
you write them a check and it costs you, what is it, $5 a square foot or something?
Next time the meeting, you need to go with me.
I
Because
want
I
to.
don't understand why BIU has $250,000 in their bank account.
Yeah, and no enforcement. I mean, does that seem fair? That's something for you to sink your teeth into right there.
Is that on anything, like your
Did you
road?
come up with any quote?
It don't
So
matter.
we know
if you-
dollar wise.
If
If
you
you're under
don't,
25.
Yes.
if you get the permit from BIU and you don't do it to specifications, and they come out and he goes out to look at something and it's not right, BIU does it, there's no enforcement. You know, they throw it back on the township. Well, you make us give you paperwork to go there,
They're getting paid.
spend more money for inspections, but if you don't do it and we tell them that, they don't do nothing to you anyhow. So why do it? It just doesn't seem right to me. So I called them out on it today and I'm waiting for a response from
Okay,
Frank.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
What was your question about the quotes, prices?
Yes.
He wanted to know what the two prices were.
Give me Martin first.
Martin, $19,335.
$19,330.
35.
Yeah, $5. Go ahead. And the other was,
Equity Roofing was, theirs is multi-pages, so I'm trying to find $20,087.11, but don't quote me on that because
What is it?
$20,087.
That was it. That was it.
Yeah.
But I know that they had line items of, like add-ons of things on the
Yeah.
side, so I don't know if any of that pertained into be,
700
apples to apple.
roughly. Okay. All right.
So,
Equity, I think, wants to start now, but they didn't get back to me. I sent him an email and he didn't get back to me yet.
Are you going to the commissioners meeting Mondays at 10 o'clock?
Nah, you don't get you get 3 minutes over there.
But there's a
That's
difference
different. You don't get to really, till you say what your complaint is.
Okay.
It's over
They don't
750.
answer any questions neither.
They just put it in the newspaper.
now keep in mind that there's warranty differences between Martin and Equity.
Well, there's a difference in the way to steal too, but let me explain the way to steal. Equity's using 28 gauge steel.
28.
They
okay.
call it steel.
Okay.
It's not steel, it's galvanized. Martin's using 29 gauge steel,
28, 29.
and it's
They're
steel.
using 50-year screw.
I don't know what Martin's using as far as screws, but I've never had, I put a lot of metal roofs on
I
the
did
screws
too,
they
but-
use today.
When I saw that 50-year screw,
Yeah, but I don't like them 50-year
I
screws.
don't even know why they look
Well, it's got a
they're
big
sealed.
cap.
Yeah.
Instead of being a
They're
quarter
sealed.
inch, they're big, and they got a big, huge cap that completely
Sealed.
covers the rubber.
Yeah.
But my problem, unless it's dead straight, it's gonna leak. Because when you cock them a little bit, it gets that gap.
So there it
And
is.
Equity guarantees the roof, I think it was for 50 years,
No, it's got skirt.
Right.
where Martin's
It's
guarantee
don't
was
matter me,
yeah.
less.
50-year screw. At the end.
That's
I'm willing
going
to go with equity, because I wanna get the roof done.
Yeah.
But I just saying that there's a $752 difference, but I think
Let me give
the
them a call.
way everything is written, I think you're probably, you're making up for that.
50 years.
I just wanna make sure that they're wrapping all the faces and stuff with aluminum, because Martin's redoing all the faces with aluminum, and that's not in their quote.
And new gutters and done.
Yeah, that's on both of them,
Okay.
6-inch gutters, that's on, I checked that.
Okay. We make a call, make sure they're both on the 50-year screws and the warranty.
I gave that out.
Yeah, you
before.
said 50 years on equity.
They put that snow seal on the roof.
And another thing that I noticed,
50 years.
Martin uses the snow rail, and they're using the snow catchers. I think the snow rail is better, because every time I see snow catchers on a roof after the first slide, they rip the rail off.
Yeah, they're all putting snow rail.
Snow rail.
Martin Steel has a 30-year warranty on it.
Martin.
Has a 30-year warranty on the tin. So, I think Equity had in there to upgrade the snow rails.
Yeah, but it's an upcharge.
Yeah.
I-
Okay.
I'm not
If
trying
they,
to look at
if
the whole
they
thing
put
on
the
my
snow
phone.
rail on and they do the fascia, for the bid that they turned in,
50 years screws.
you gotta work them, guys, you can't just take
So-
the price and say,
so you're gonna
"Okay, you got the job."
No
You gotta-
rail.
You gotta work them a little bit.
I'll
Right.
send you the other information I have on them. You should
Okay.
have the phone number to call it on the email.
Yeah, there is, but I just responded to the email, I figured he'd get back to me, because he seemed anxious, but he didn't. He
So,
might have by now, I don't know.
Martin.
alright.
30-year warranty.
Anything else for the good township? Meeting adjourned.
He's back where you got him from,
Yeah, he had.
before they end up at the bottom.
I haven't been back there.
Hey, thanks for coming, John.
Well, keep in mind,
Hey, John,
they got these driveways.
what do you think about these
He said
guys?
that he told me he was going